Rocky 99, Economo Health System, Somerset Hospital, along with the Cambria County Drug Coalition, we've teamed up to fight addiction with our Hearts Against Heroin awareness campaign. And today, as part of the campaign, we welcome in Chief Robert Johnson. Thank you for your time, sir, for coming in.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Absolutely. We got a lot of questions to get to as you just take over. How long you been on the job now?
Oh, I think it's about day 28.
Day 28, yeah. So I'm sure life for you has been a little crazy. And given that you're starting, kind of introduce yourself to the whole Laurel Highlands. Chief Johnson, and he is our new police chief in Johnstown. Born and raised right around here. And
yeah, I grew up in Lorain Borough, went to Ferndale High School. Been on a rubber band, moving away and coming back throughout the years.
You most recently were with the state police, is that?
Yeah, I retired from the state police in the end of June with just under 26 years of service.
Since taking over as the new chief, has anything surprised you at all coming into this?
No, not really. The biggest thing is probably the number of meetings I have to attend.
All right, yeah.
I'm getting crushed with that. But in all seriousness, what has surprised me is the volume of work that the PD does with the limited resources they have. They really come to work and bust their tails all day. I would say the other thing is that the number of people that are in the community, they're trying to make the community better.
And that's what part of what we're doing today, too. And as with our area goes, limited amount of resources, you just got to do what you got to do.
Yeah, make it happen, right?
That's how it works. We've all been hearing about this huge drug bust recently. One of the questions I had, will that have an immediate impact? When you hear about a huge drug bust, does that immediately send people scurrying, how does that work? Seeing the politics of the drug world or something?
Well, whenever you have anything like that occur, there is a reset button for the people that are dealing there for a while. You know, they become a little more cautious in their activities, and they may be less reluctant or less likely to sell so freely to the people that are coming to them because they don't know who may have turned them in and turn them over to police. So there could be a lag there. There's always someone to fill the prior guy's shoes, but it does have an impact. And, you know, our hope is to set the tone where people don't come here to sell their drugs anymore, and the people that are coming here to buy their drugs stay away as well.
Somebody really just steps right into the next role, so to speak.
Sadly, it's kind of a next man up scenario. There's a lot of money to be made for these people, and that drives a lot of their interest in the matter. And
that's when we had District Attorney Kelly Callahan in, she was like, they just have massive amounts of money that we're fighting.
It is alarming the amount of money that exchanges hands, and none of it's accounted for because obviously you're not paying taxes on it and all that other stuff. So it's a lucrative cash business, so to say.
Progress-wise, what are you seeing as the whole drug epidemic? Are you seeing progress?
Well, I mean, the vast majority of my career was involved in drug interdiction, and I think what we're seeing now is that the medical community has realized that the use of prescription opioids was not the answer, and they've drawn that back. They're always trying to find a way to do things better. So it's always, you're adjusting. It's kind of like playing a sport. You're adjusting your offense to their defense and vice versa. So it's an ebb and tide type of situation.
Now, are you still getting a bunch of tips from Crime Stoppers, Push Out the Pusher, and is it helping?
We continue to get tips from Crime Stoppers as well as Push Out the Pusher, and it's immensely helpful. If we didn't have that information, we could be further behind in the game. So we encourage everyone to continue to contact Crime Stoppers and Push Out the Pusher because these programs rely on the community to help us do our job.
I know that you can sometimes trace it back to somebody who sold that person the drug. Is that
correct?
Right?
Yes.
And then are you able to typically get convictions then out of that person?
Well, drug delivery resulting in death convictions are pretty difficult.
Really?
To say the least, the investigations are difficult in and of themselves. You got to understand that you don't have a lot of evidence there. Each stamp bag has its own mark on it or whatever. If you don't know where that's coming from, it's hard to get back to where it came from. It's a difficult prosecution for sure, but I will tell you this, the Somerset County District Attorney's Office is one of the best in prosecuting them, having been the Criminal Investigation Section Commander prior to my retirement. Those guys and the Somerset State Police out there, that crime room had done an amazing job with those prosecutions, and we actually use them as a model to teach other places in our area how to do those types of investigations.
Great, that's good to hear. More officers are something that we all like to see, more people keeping us safe. Are you able to add more new divisions maybe for the police force with this whole thing?
Well, certainly we would like to have more. The biggest issue with that is budgets.
Right.
Money to put more people on. That is our biggest issue, is that the city has limited resources and we only have the ability to employ so many people with those resources. We'd like to have a very, very full police force.
Right.
The reality is that we can only do what we can with the funds that we have.
Finally, the general public, what can I do to make more of an impact, to help your job go better? Is there anything that we can do?
Yeah, get involved. If you see something that doesn't look right, call the police. No one's ever going to complain that you're calling us to say, hey, I think they're dealing drugs there. The community watch programs. I was just at National Night Out. I say this with the utmost respect, but the little old ladies from that community are still doing the community watch program, and they're in their 80s. Yeah, but we need some young guys to help out with that as well.
Oh, okay. So we need the newer generation to come more. Okay.
Yeah, the younger generation, because you've got to be involved in your community. You can't always say, well, Bob's doing it, Bubba's doing it. Hey, we got to have some other people stepping up, and I think that's critical to the continued success.
Thanks so much for your time, Chief Johnson, and your efforts along with the opioid epidemic and keeping us all safe here in the Laurel Highlands. We appreciate you coming in.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Hearts Against Heroin is presented by Conemaugh Health Systems, Somerset Hospital, along with Spangler Subaru, Martin Baker America, Yeager's Heating Service, First Summit Bank, and Rocky 99.